Here to discuss with me now, Tony Perkins. Tony, Donald Trump worked hard for the evangelical vote. In some parts in the South, he got them during the primaries, but in other parts in the Midwest, he didn't do as well. Early on, the folks who went to church on a regular basis didn't really buy into Donald Trump. Why now? Because even after some of the things that have come out in the past week, has this support seemed to solidify around him?
Charles, that's a really good question, and it's a question that I think a lot of people are asking. And the answer is this: in the primary, Trump only had about 40% of evangelical vote. As you pointed out, those who went to church on a regular basis were with other candidates, myself included. As an individual, I supported Ted Cruz, campaigned around the country for him because our value set was much closer. We both share a common faith in Jesus Christ and have a worldview that's very similar. This comes down into the general election, not really so much a support of Donald Trump as the Trump campaign and what it stands for. And that's why Donald Trump has articulated something that other Republican candidates have not when it comes to the United States Supreme Court. He's actually listed candidates. He said he would appoint pro-life candidates. He has campaigned on religious freedom. He's continued the conversation with evangelicals even into the general election. So they do not embrace his conduct in the things that have come forth. That is very troubling. But as you pointed out, there's only two choices in this race, legitimate choices. It's him and Hillary Clinton. And he has stood on a side, policy-wise, that is conducive to or more clearly aligned with biblical Christian thinking when it comes to public policy.
Tony, I just had a tweet during commercial. Someone brought up rap music. A lot of Trump surrogates went out over the last couple of days and talked about the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Wouldn't this, though, be a good time for Donald Trump to say, listen, even maybe our moral meter is off, and I don't want to use that as an excuse because as a president, I want to be above all of that as best I can, and maybe actually change the trajectory of this country. I'd like to watch a TV show just one time that I wouldn't blush. There were times my mom would be sitting next to me on the sofa. I'm kind of like, even though I'm an adult with grandchildren, I blush. I couldn't even watch TV with the regular TV.
Absolutely, and it's my point. It's what I've communicated to the campaign. Look, Donald Trump needs to own this, take responsibility for it. It's not excusable. It's inappropriate, and he just needs to say it. This is not who I am. It's not who I want to be, and I'm going to put people around me to make sure I don't do it, because I want your children to be able to look at me and emulate my behavior as a leader of the free world. That's what America needs, and he needs to step forward and convince people he'll do that, and he'll respect all people, including women. As a husband and a father of 3 daughters, I want a leader who is going to respect women and treat them the way they should be treated.
I've only got 30 seconds. I want to get this in because the other side of this also is moralism, if you will. There's a great biblical verse that there's not a righteous man on earth who does what is right and never sins. The other side of this argument is, do we get too moralistic at times, or is that actually needed at some times?
I think it has its place, but here's the key, Charles, and you know this. It is redemption, and Yom Kippur is today, the Day of Atonement. Look, when we ask for forgiveness, we're forgiven. So it's taking responsibility for our actions and saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I was wrong, I'm not going to do that again, and I'm going to put people in my life that's going to help me do the right thing.
Tony Perkins, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.